iexec RLC past value investigation. According to the latest data collected, the continuous expense of iexec RLC certainly is 0.96, and RLC most certainly is at present situated in the sort of entire crypto climate by and large. In spite of mainstream thinking, the dispersal supply of iexec RLC generally is 80,999,785 with a market cap of 77,657,357. In an unobtrusive manner in the past 24 hours, the crypto truly has been reduced by 57 in its continuous sort of worth. If we really contemplate the continuous business area cap of the RLC with yesterday's, you can basically see that the market cap sort of is in like manner down, or so they essentially thought. iexec RLC for the most part is standing up to a kind of difficult stretch, bouncing on board with certainly other crypto coins in an unpretentious manner. The RLC explicitly is down to actually almost 2817 over the latest 7 days, which is genuinely huge. The coin especially is at this point showing taking a risk with illustrating parts for ongoing days. The coin could pretty significant solid areas for really have, regardless we don't for the most part, accept that it would a gainful asset in kind of present second inside the latest 1 month. The expense of RLC reduced by 47,031. Discarding an extraordinary normal measure of 0.85 from its continuous worth, which truly is very critical. This unforeseen down suggests that the coin in a real sense is in plunge right now, inferring that it will in general be a good buy, a fundamentally open entryway for quick hypothesis. In a really significant manner, the 90 days cost change is close 7403. And the expense orbited from a base common expense of 364 to generally essentially outrageous by and large ordinary expense of 428 in the past 90 days in a significant way. iexec RLC is someplace close 8063, with the best regular expense of the coin was around 438. And the base commonplace worth of was around 364 in past 4 months, which especially is genuinely huge. iexec RLC value expectation estimate for 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025 and 2030 at Prediction. We certainly predict future iexec RLC cost assumptions. We'll guess by applying significant reasonably mechanized thinking. Helped kind of specific investigation on the past worth data of iexec RLC, or so they in a real sense thought. We really give a fearless work to accumulate most prominent undeniable data for the RLC coin, which certainly integrate various limits, like exceptionally past worth iexec RLC market cap, iexec RLC volume and barely anymore, which truly is very critical. Expecting you by and large are wanting to fundamentally place assets into cutting-edge computerized monetary standards and need in every practical sense extraordinary benefit from your hypotheses. Explicitly make a highlight, generally examine our conjectures, or so they in every practical sense thought. iexec RLC value expectation 2022. According to our significant truly concentrated assessment on past worth data of RLC in 2022, the expense of iexec RLC especially is expected to basically arrive at in any event of 0.93. As opposed to mainstream thinking, the RLC cost can show up at a biggest level of 110, with the run-of-the-mill trading cost of 0.96, which generally is genuinely huge. iexec RLC value expectation 2023. The expense of iexec RLC really is expected to reach in any event level of 128 in 2023, which especially is very huge. The iexec RLC cost can show up at a biggest level of 157, with the normal expense of 133 all through 2023. In a really significant manner, RLC value estimate for 2024 to 2025, according to the gauge cost and really specific assessment in 2024, the expense of iexec RLC essentially is expected to generally reach in any event level of 186. Amazingly, the RLC cost can especially show up at an undoubtedly outrageous level of 225, with the ordinary trading cost of 191, the expense of 1 iexec RLC basically should by and large reach essentially level of 261 in 2025. In a significant manner, the RLC cost can really show up at a most especially outrageous level of 325. with the regular expense of 270 all through 2025, which sort of is very critical. Exec RLC value expectation 2026 exec RLC cost sort of is guessed to especially show up at a sort of the most unpossible level of 375 in 2026, in spite of mainstream thinking. As per our disclosures, the RLC cost could truly show up at the most outrageous possible level of 454, with the ordinary figure cost of 389, in an unobtrusive manner. Exec RLC value expectation 2027. According to our significant specific assessment on especially past worth data of RLC in 2027, the expense of exec RLC by and large is gauged to be at around a base truly worth of 523. In an especially enormous manner, the exec RLC esteem certainly worth can really show up at a constraint of 648 with the ordinary trading extremely worth of 538 in USD, which in a real sense is very critical. Exec RLC value, forecast 2028. The expense of exec RLC for the most part is expected to by and large arrive at in any event all plans and purposes worth of 786 in 2028. The exec RLC cost could really show up at a genuinely outrageous in every practical sense worth of 911, with a normal trading cost of 813 all through 2028. Which is very huge. Exec RLC value expectation conjecture 2029, according to the guess and sort of specific assessment in 2029, the expense of exec RLC in a real sense should essentially reach basically esteemed especially worth of 1152, which all things considered is genuinely critical. The RLC cost can fundamentally show up at a biggest incentive in every practical sense worth of 1364, with the ordinary exceptionally worth of 1193, which really is genuinely critical. Exec RLC value forecast 2030. The expense of exec RLC certainly is expected to for the most part reach at the exceptionally in every way that really matters least worth of 1623 in 2030, which essentially is genuinely critical. The exec RLC cost could in every practical sense show up at a biggest sort of worth of 2039, with the common trading cost of 1683 all through 2030, in a genuinely significant manner. Exec RLC value expectation 2031 exec RLC cost for the most part is guessed to really show up at the most negligible possible level of 2450 in 2031. As per our revelations, the RLC cost could essentially show up at the most fundamentally outrageous possible level of 2857, with a run-of-the-mill figure cost of 2518, in an unobtrusive manner. Where and how to purchase exec RLC, as opposed to prevalent thinking there are a genuinely